How does it feel when we choose our own path? How does it feel for me to choose my own path? How would it feel for you to choose your own path? So many things, right? It feels lonely at times, like, oh, everybody thinks I should be going this way, but I'm going to go this way. Maybe at other times it feels the opposite of alone because you realize that there are so many like you that are also following that path. If it feels lonely, it's most likely just because we're still in that transition period where we've chosen to leave or to veer off from a particular path that we were on, but we have not yet come to the place where we're surrounded by people that have also chosen that same path because, well, frankly, we just have to keep going down it until we see those people. Anything that we're experiencing right now is totally temporary. I mean, everything's temporary, but especially what we're experiencing right now during this transition time where we're trying to figure out what it all means and what the purpose is and why did I go this direction? You know, all those kinds of questions might arise. But ultimately, they're just testing our faith in the path that we've taken. And so then how can someone start to tap into choosing their own path? The way you do that is through a series of, maybe you might call them exploratory practices. One of those actually is super simple: blocking out the world, blocking out the things that usually occupy your attention. Certainly other people's conversations about their lives, about the world, about politics, about all these things. It's not to say that we shouldn't plug ourselves into that if we feel like there's good reason to do so. Giving ourselves the opportunity to let go of the world is really helpful because there's ultimately an inner voice within us that is always speaking to us. It doesn't speak to us with words like the rest of this outside world does. It speaks to us with feeling, it speaks to us with intuition, and it's always speaking to us. We are always able to hear it if we listen for it. And it's much easier to listen for it when we don't have a bunch of other stuff going on in our minds that get in the way. Whether we're trying to tap into a path that we think might be better for us, but we're not sure what it is yet, or we've taken that path, we've walked through that door, but we haven't yet come to the other side and we're not sure where that sense of home is going to come from. The uncertainty is a part of the process. The uncertainty is something to appreciate, and it's something valuable. And it's also okay to change direction. Whether we've already walked through the door and we see there's another door and we're like, oh no, should I not go through this path and then actually go on this one instead? Would that mean that I'm not committed or something like that? Sometimes we might have to learn the lesson of committing, but other times we might need to learn the lesson of flexibility. And I think being able to, as I mentioned earlier, block out the sounds of the world so that we can hear the sound of our inner voice is crucial in being able to delineate between those two options. But changing our mind is fine. The world's changing all the time. We're changing all the time. It's a natural way to live. And when we feel ready to commit, when we feel ready to put the roots down, because we've given ourselves that flexibility to choose, to be uncertain, to allow things to be as they are, to allow things to change and be fluid, we'll be ready to plant our roots deep and really, really absorb the experience that this new pathway has to offer us. If you made it this far, thank you. I know that that means that you support the content that I make and just what I am here to offer to you and the world. Today was actually the 100th post that I've made since I decided to be consistent, posting content that would be something positive for the world. And I'm grateful to say that I made it. You know, I got to the 100 posts. I did it. I proved that I could be consistent. But at the same time, I feel like it's time to let go. It's not time to never make content again or never share something that I create again, but I've just been feeling this call to quiet down and knowing that pretty much everything I could say as far as a positive impact, I've said in these posts, and they'll be here. I'll leave them up. For now, I think it's time to be quiet and to let the present speak for itself and to let the space speak for itself. So much love. I'll see you around. I'll always be available. Peace.